Sunana Retji Dakum. An haife ni a Jos, Nigeria. Dangina daga Fanshin, ni ɗan kabilar Mupun. Wannan kauye shine Jibu. Nan ne aka haife babana. Tun da aka haife ni, babana yana kawo mu nan. Zai ce wai yana kawo mu nan don mu sani inda mutane mu sun fara. I've lived in America for 10 years. Ever since I moved here, one of my biggest fears has been losing touch with my roots. Wherever I go, I naturally gravitate to people, things, or places that remind me of home. That's how I found this store, SANKOFA.
Which one do you think looks better on you?
I don't think either one of them look good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Rashida.
Rashida.
Yes.
Nice to
What's your
meet you.
name?
Thank you.
Okay.
Most people call me Mama Kiki.
Okay.
Yes, Mama Kiki.
All right, Mama Kiki. I'll
Thank
see you
you.
soon.
All right.
Nice meeting you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, let me.
Rashida.
We're trying to move. We're trying to move, and things are not coming together like I want them to, and the timing is kind of a little shaky now for when we move over there and when the museum starts. How are you going to make things move along? That's the important thing.
You can't see Esther's new sneakers, I know.
What's with that top?
Yeah.
Can you get over there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If I did,
We've been working for 3 years on establishing what might be the first in America, if not the world, children's museum of African cultures.
Okay.
And be aimed at 3rd and 4th and 5th grade kids mostly. We want them to learn about Africa before. Guess who got there?
Yeah.
Before the white man, before colonialism and things taken
Right. That's a wonderful
deep
thing.
turn for the worse, because great things were accomplished, great people lived then, and we want these kids to learn about that.
See you, Jim.
Oh, see you, Naomi. Take care.
See you all tomorrow.
All righty, very good. Enjoy your day. Okay, bye now. We ain't gonna get this thing done if we stay open.
It's looking like things aren't going as planned, and it's not making them too happy. I was actually excited to see this museum get started, but it seems they need more help.
I teach, you've seen me, and I mean, it's informal, but I try to get people to know a little bit about African ethnographic or tribal art, and to have an understanding that, it's important stuff. It historically, I mean, it's really the single strongest foundation of modern art. It's not the only influence on modern art, but it's perhaps the strongest or biggest influence. Most of this was not considered art by those who had it carved. They used it for their lives, for everything from finding out why a baby has not arrived yet, to what made someone ill or gave them a disease, like malaria or whatever. There had to be ways of settling disputes. There had to be things that could help heal someone. All sorts of needs were taken care of by using the various pieces that we often showcase in museums and galleries like ours. You know, that kind of teaching I've always done, but now to have a special place for kids is important.
I find Jim interesting. Who would have thought that I'd come across a white man that is this passionate about African tribal art? Like, he seems to know about my history way more than a lot of Africans I know or have met. Sometimes I go into the gallery with a lot of questions in my head about his identity or his intentions or whether he's in the right place to be doing what he's doing. But once we start talking about art that's tied to my roots, those questions fly out the window. And for some reason, I still leave feeling happy.
So this is one of the art dealers. This is Usman. And we've been dealing with Usman for many years. He's a very good art dealer. So when he comes, I'm always a happy man. Wonderful. Fish trap. See? From Senegal, did you say Sierra Leone? Sierra Leone, yeah. Wow. So, Korkoi. That's my wife's tribal name. It means firstborn, female. He got it for us, honey. Usman.
What is this?
The fish trap I've been told them to get. This is
And what is it for?
the museum for trapping fish to show the ingenuity, the inventiveness of Africans. And look how beautiful they've done it. They go in
Where is
here.
this from?
It's Sierra Leone. And here, look at that. His first price was $170.
This is the first time I'm hearing about.
Oh, I asked him several months ago to get me a fish trap. So he came with it.
With everything going wrong, I can't help but appreciate how Mama Kiki and Jim are still pushing through. There were issues with the store's landlord. It was tough closing their store so they could pack, and now they're currently moving from the store to the new location for the museum. So here I am. I dropped my camera and I'm helping them move. Sometimes I wonder, how do I find myself in these positions? First things first, welcome everybody. I'd like to thank all of you that came out today. If you've been to an ask for event. 2, 3. Hands up. If you've been to an I went to college at the College of New Jersey, a predominantly white institution. I started feeling like I was losing myself while I was there because my culture wasn't represented on campus. So I got together with other students that were willing to help start a platform that represented the African culture. We had weekly meetings, events, tribal art, African food. We actually pretty much started a tribe. We called it the Association of Students for Africa. It felt like home. After having that experience in New Jersey, I always wanted to be in a space that has that type of energy. The type of energy that makes you feel connected to your roots. I think I'm starting to feel that at SANKOFA with Mama Kiki and Jim.
And this guy is, by the way, chewing on a hallucinogenic herb of some sort. I don't know the name. Hey, how you doing, Usman? Good to see you, my friend.
Good,
so
good.
what do you think?
Yeah.
We got a new home for
Yeah,
everything. And this is the lobby. The main entrance will be here, over here, and here. And this is the main part of the museum. So we got plenty of space.
Yes, that's a plan.
Yes. So we'll do maybe like 2/3 will be general Africa,
Yeah.
and then the last 1/3 will feature a particular country. Okay. So we'll probably start with Ghana because that's Esther's country. Yeah. And it was the first of the modern African nations. Yeah, yeah. And then maybe we'll do, after that, who knows, maybe Nigeria or Cameroon or Mali. You know, but we'll do every maybe 3 months or 4 months, we'll switch the country.
When I met him, he already had an interest in African art. He owned, I can attest to one, but he may have had a couple more pieces of art that he says he got in DC. So that was an interest that we had in common. I really wasn't that interested in African art per se, even though I'm an African, or probably because I'm an African. We were raised to believe that what we're calling today African art was the devil's work, that it was all evil, and since we were being raised as Christian, we had to shun and avoid these pieces altogether. I can tell you that growing up, there were some areas in different neighborhoods that had shrines, and you were not to go anywhere near these neighborhoods. I had never come face to face with a mask. And at that time, it wasn't very common to see the decorative masks that are so abundant now, what we call the tourist masks. They were not available either. But you avoided anything that had to do with African traditional religion, like the plague. So I didn't know too much about it.
I don't know. Religions kind of separate us a lot too. And then of course there was a lot of stuff done in the name of religion that was not good. But yeah, I don't have any. I separated myself based on belief and philosophy. You know, I mean, I think the message of Jesus was pretty good. I think there's a whole lot about Jesus's life, what we know of it, that was exemplary, that, you know, is worth perhaps patterning your life after. I also think there was a whole lot of, you know, great stuff from Lao Tzu, who, you know, created Taoism, which is the foundation of today's Buddhism. And I guess if I were comfortable with any modern religion, though technically it's not a religion, it would be Buddhism. You know, the Buddhists are very into nature and balance in life, and I think that's a pretty good message. So I kind of feel, oh, there's a Subway. Ooh, I'm gonna get a Subway sandwich. Yeah, man. Let's see if I can sneak over there.
The shop had moved to this location with the understanding that we were going to lose some of our businesses who had been with us on Charles Street, but we were expecting that we would be able to continue the business by winning over the guests or visitors to the Children's Museum. Unfortunately, since we did not open the museum on time, in fact, it's still not open, and this is the end of August, we have not benefited from any guests coming in, and our business has taken a big hit, and we're not happy.
Now, when these are carved, even though it's right after the birth of twin babies, they always make them mature, sexually mature. But these are Yoruba Ibeji to celebrate the birth of twins. And the Yoruba live in the southwest of Nigeria, in a large area, because they're really the second largest ethnic group in all of Africa. Only the Hausa, or Hausa, as some people say, are a larger ethnic group. And they're in Nigeria also. It's no wonder your country is so populous.
Good afternoon, Auntie Esther.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. How you feeling today?
Tired.
You're tired? Can you let me know why?
Well, we just had a meeting. It went very well, but I wasn't feeling too good this morning. And so it started late, and but it went very well. So I should be grateful for that.
What would you say to someone who feels like it's not his place to talk about or to educate kids on the African culture?
I will say, don't be a fool. Knowledge is power, and you find knowledge wherever you can get it. Yes, there are Black people who know about African history and cultures. I don't know them, so I can't use them. And they'll probably be wanting to charge me for their services, which is their right to do. But here is somebody who has a deep interest. He's not writing his thesis. He's not required to do it. He does it because he loves it. He is fascinated by it. And he is good at it. Why are we going to reject it? As they say, cutting your nose to spite your face. Hey, be my guest.
On this journey, I always asked myself why I stuck with Mama Kiki and Jim for so long. There were so many times things went wrong and it felt like the museum was not going to open. But everyone kept a little hope alive and stuck to the mission. I've grown to learn that it's more like a personal calling. From Mama Kiki, to Jim, to everyone that volunteered, it didn't matter what we all looked like. What mattered was our actions. SANKOFA means to move forward through looking back. It represents the need to reflect on history to build a successful future. It symbolizes taking from the past what is good and bringing it into the present to make positive progress. That's what my experience felt like, and that's the mission of the museum. Being in this space feels like being at home, and the people I've experienced it with feel like a part of my tribe.
I love it. Yes, you did so good.